To our channel. Today we are covering question and answers on TOGAF Foundation. To find the complete list of question and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to our channel. Today's questions are: in phase D of the idiom cycle, if you are following the order of the steps defined and the current step is to perform gap analysis, which is the next step? Option A, develop baseline architecture. Option B, define candidate roadmap components. Option C, create architecture definition document. Option D, resolve impacts across the architecture landscape. And option E, landscape farmer stakeholder review. The correct answer is option B. Next question is, which of the following does the TOGAF ADM recommend for use in developing an architecture vision document? Option A, architecture principles. Option B, requirement management. Option C, interoperability analysis. Option D, business scenarios. And option E, gap analysis. The correct answer is option A. Next question is, which of the following best describes the standards information base? You can go through these options. And the correct answer is option D. Next question is, which of the following best describes the purpose of the architecture definition document? Option A, to act as a deliverable container for artifacts created during a project. Option B, to ensure that architecture information is communicated to the right stakeholders at the right time. Option C, to provide a high-level view of the end architecture product. Option D, to govern the architecture throughout its implementation process. And option E, to show progression of change from baseline architecture to the target architecture. The correct answer is option A. Next question is, which of the following is an objective of phase G implementation governance? Option A, establish the resources for architecture governance. Option B, develop the target technology architecture. Option C, ensure conformance for the target architecture. Option D, operate the governance framework. And option E, finalize the implementation and migration plan. The correct answer is option C. Next question is, during a TOGAF ADM cycle, an architecture can be denoted as version 1.0. What does this indicate? Option A draft detailed architecture. Option B, a formally reviewed detailed architecture. Option C, a formally reviewed preliminary architecture. Option D, a preliminary outline architecture. And option E, a high-level outline architecture. The correct answer is option B. Next question is, according to the TOGAF standard, what term describes an individual with an interest in a system? Option A, sponsor. Option B, consumer. Option C, lead architect. And option D, stakeholder. The correct answer is option D. Next question is, which of the following describes an objective of the preliminary phase? Option A, to ensure conformance requirements for the target architecture are defined. Option B, to develop the implementation and migration plan. Option C, to operate the governance framework. Option D, to establish the architecture governance process. And option E, to develop the architecture vision document. The correct answer is option D. Next question is, in which ADM phase is the implementation and migration plan coordinated with other activities in the enterprise? Option A, phase A. Option B, phase G. Option C, phase E. Option D, phase H. And option E, phase F. The correct answer is option E. Next question is, complete the sentence. In the TOGAF architecture content framework, an artifact that is a list of things is known as a option A, building blocks. Option B, matrix. Option C, catalog. Option C, deliverable. Option D, deliverable. And option E, diagram. And the correct answer is option C. Next question is, what component of the architecture repository represents architecture requirements agreed with the architecture board? Option A, architecture capability. Option B, reference library. Option C, architecture requirements repository. And option D, governance log. And the correct answer is option C. Next question is, in which ADM phase does the value and change management process determine the circumstances under which the architecture development cycle will be initiated to develop a new architecture? Option A, phase E. Option A, phase F. Option B, phase E. Option C, phase G. Option D, phase H. And option E, preliminary phase. And the correct answer is option D. Next question is, what technique used in phase B provides stakeholder context into why the organization needs business capabilities? Option A, business capability map. Option B, organization map. Option C, information map. And option D, value stream analysis. And the correct answer is option D. Next question is, within the architecture continuum, which of the following consists of generic components, interrelationships, principles, and guidelines? Option A, foundation architecture. Option B, common systems architecture. Option C, transition architecture. Option D, organization specific architecture. And option E, industry architecture. The correct answer is option A. Next question is, what are the levels of the architecture landscape? Option A, corporate EA, project team and portfolio team architectures. Option B, business, data, applications and technology architectures. Option C, capability, segment and strategic architectures. Option D, baseline, transition and target architectures. And option E, foundation, common and solution architectures. The correct answer is option C. Next question is, what is an objective of the ADM preliminary phase? Option A, to select the implement tool to support the architecture capability. Option B, to document the baseline architecture. Option C, to create the initial version of the architecture roadmap. Option D, to develop a vision of the business value to be delivered by the proposed enterprise architecture. And option E, to obtain approval for the statement of architecture work. The correct answer is option A. Next question is, complete the sentence. The architecture domains that are considered by the TOGAF standards as subsets of an overall enterprise architecture are business, technology. Option A, application and data. Option B, capability and segment. Option C, logical and physical. Option D, information and data. And option E, vision and strategy. The correct answer is option A. Next question is complete the sentence. In ADM phase H, an architectural change known as a re-architecting change is driven by requirements to option A realign with the business strategy, option B increase investment in order to create new value for exploitation, option C reduce costs, option D reduce investment, and option E derive additional value from the existing investment. The correct answer is option A. Next question is what are the four architecture domains that the TOGAF standards deal with? Option A application, data, information, knowledge. Option B business, data, application, technology. Option C process, organization, strategic requirements. Option D baseline, candidate, transition target. And option E capability segment, enterprise, federated. And the correct answer is option B. Next question is which is the first step in the architectural development phases B, C and D? Option A conduct formal stakeholder review. Option B perform gap analysis. Option C resolve impacts across the architecture landscape. Option D develop baseline architecture description. And option E select the reference models, architecture viewpoints and tools. And the correct answer is option E. Next question is complete the sentence. The architecture landscape is divided into levels known as. You can go through these options. And the correct answer is option D. Next question is which of the following are sections of the TOGAF library? Option A common system solutions, organization specific solutions and industry solutions. Option B catalog, matrices and diagrams. Option C reference data, templates and patterns. Option D foundation documents and organization specific guidance and techniques. And option E guidelines and reference architecture. The correct answer is option D. Next question is what technique used in phase B provides self-contained view of the business that is independent of the current organizational structure, business processes, information systems and application. Option A business capability map. Option B organization map. Option C information map. And option D value stream analysis. The correct answer is option A. Next question is which ADM phase defines the scope for the architecture development initiative and identifies the stakeholders? Option A phase D technology architecture. Option B phase A architecture vision. Option C requirements management. Option D phase B business architecture. And option E preliminary phase. The correct answer is option B. Next question is complete the sentence. A set of architecture principles that are enduring and yet able to accommodate change meet the recommended criteria of option A completeness, option B robustness, option C stability, option D consistency, and option E understandability. And the correct answer is option C. Next question is what is the purpose of the standards information base within the architectural repository? Option A it describes the organization specific architecture, framework and method. Option B it provides a record for the governance activity across the enterprise. Option C it defines the parameter structures and processes to support governance. Option D, it lists the set of specifications to which architectures must conform. And option E, it provides standard templates and patterns that must be able to create new architectures. The correct answer is option D. Thank you.